This video was brought to you by Slidebean, a platform for startups and small businesses to create professional investor decks and sales presentations. Get 1 free month by signing up at slidebean.com/YouTube. Last week, we celebrated our 100,000th subscriber on YouTube. We had pizza and beer and fun on a Google Meet session. Our office has now been pretty much empty for the last 3 months, and there is no sign of when we'll see it full of people again. But hear this, we are not even considering canceling our lease. First, we spent around $50,000 in adapting the space to what it is today, most of which we would lose if we got rid of the office. I don't know if $50,000 sounds like a lot to you, but well, it was a combination of interior design, chairs, desks, TVs, projectors, the stuff that's needed to have an office, and I don't want that to go to waste. But more importantly, I continue to be a firm believer in the power of in-office collaboration. While working from home makes people happier and potentially even more productive as individuals, I believe the live human interaction still can't be replaced for groups or for teams. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of these reasons, but also how we built our team in a way that allowed us to quickly become fully remote while maintaining the essence, the company culture, and the productivity of the old days, like 2019 old days. So this is my take on remote teams. Building a team. We prepared to work remotely from the get-go, from our first hire, not because we could predict the future, but because all three of us founders are not micromanagers. We understood that we wanted a company with no fixed schedules, with flexibility to work in different locations, and we just couldn't afford to hire people that needed to be closely supervised. But being compatible with remote work is not all of it. The second and probably most important part is company culture. Creating a team that feels part of a whole, that enjoys working together. So 2 objectives when hiring. First, creating company culture. Second, hiring people that can work remotely. Company culture. When we started the company, we absolutely could not afford to hire top-tier talent. More importantly, we didn't have the runway visibility to ask somebody to quit their job and come work for us. This has been a phobia of mine, to be honest. As a matter of fact, in the early stages, we could probably have been more aggressive in our hiring, but that could have translated into risking somebody's job because we made a wrong prediction about how our revenue would scale. And that is a burden that we founders never wanted to bear. So we are conservative with our hires and extremely transparent about our financials, especially for specialized roles that we are stealing away from other companies. So our first team members were unemployed when we hired them. We were nobody, had a short runway and too much uncertainty, but we still had to filter them very well and ensure that they would match our expectations. And then one of our biggest hacks for this was using the Myers-Briggs personality test. While not perfect, and it's hated by a lot of people, Myers-Briggs is a widely accepted introspective self-report questionnaire kind of thing that classifies people into 16 different personalities that predict how people perceive the world and how people make decisions. I am an ENTP, if you're wondering. So when people applied, we put them through a Google form questionnaire that allowed us to classify them into one of these personalities. So we disguised a Myers-Briggs test into this Google form. Then we would calculate if they'd be compatible with the rest of the team, especially with their direct supervisor. This allowed us early on to build a lot of cohesion with the team. We are a team of around 30 people now, and there are multiple groups of close friends that have been formed after working together at Slidebean. And by close friends, I mean Slidebean team members often hang out off work on non-Slidebean organized activities. We even had an office couple, which was curious. We brought together a group of people that share more than an office space and the boss, and this has been absolutely key as the company grows, especially in these days of isolation. Now, let's talk about building a team that can work remotely. Even in tech startups, not all roles can be remote. Actually, let me rephrase that to not all roles should be remote. On one extreme, we might have our product team. They connect once or twice a week on a stand-up meeting, agree on what they're working on, and pretty much they're on their own for the rest of the week. These positions are very much compatible with working remotely. In fact, the distraction of the office environment probably breaks your concentration more often than at home. On the other hand, we have teams like our marketing team. continuously brainstorming, implementing, launching new campaigns. In our most experimental phases, we're probably doing 4-5 different campaigns in a single week. And this brainstorming process is very hard to do on a remote call. We are absolutely and unequivocally more efficient when we are sitting together at the same table. Because we can talk to each other without having to book a call. We can grab 15 minutes between 2 meetings to coordinate a new campaign and launch it before the end of the day. Any gaps in our schedule are used very efficiently. And with audiences our size, we have around 1.5 million signups on Slidebean. Launching something today versus 2 days later can have a tremendous impact on our revenue at the end of the month. So notice that in neither of those examples, there's a need for micromanagement. The value of sitting together is coordinating, brainstorming, and efficiency in communication. But after that, everybody is on their own and completes the work they need to complete in a timely manner. But what is a timely manner? How long should building a set of ad designs and launching a retargeting campaign should take? 3 hours? 6 hours? I know the answer to that question because I've done it myself, and I know how long it takes me. I handled it for a couple of years while we were bootstrapping, and finally had the chance to hire somebody and delegate it. Our head of marketing has done it himself as well, and can then assign it to the designers knowing full well how long things should take. Pretty much every single task in the company I've done myself at some point in our history, which has allowed me to understand the real time requirement of most of what we do. Very rarely we've had to let people go at Slidebean, and oftentimes we, the management team, have taken the full blame for not hiring somebody that could adapt to our method. Our method is assigning a task and taking it out of our brain, considering it done. We expect it delivered promptly, knowing well what that promptly expectation might be. Some people need micromanaging or somebody pushing them to finish things on time. That just doesn't work for us. We just can't afford to do our work and keep track of the work we assign to others. Another essential variable to remote work is proactivity. There's a vast difference between finishing what you had assigned and proactively taking on other tasks and completing them. This proactivity is a combination of an initiative of the team member and trust. Confidence from our team that their actions will be relevant, that they'll impact the company, and that we are allowed to make mistakes. It also relates to transparency. Everybody in our team knows how much revenue we are making every month. Everybody in the team knows full well how they and their work is impacting the company. The tech barrier. I want to go back to this sentence. The value of sitting together is coordinating, brainstorming, and efficiency in communication. I think we are pretty efficient at this. We were on Slack before it was cool. We use ClickUp for task management and task delegation. We use Google Meets for calls. We use Slidebean for team reports and presentations. That's a shameless plug. I firmly believe the tools we use are the best in their field. But once again, coordinating, brainstorming, and communication. I hate to say it, but it's not the same. There is no Zoom, Skype, or Google Meet that can replace a meeting at the office in front of a whiteboard. No platform can replace running into someone in the hallway and getting a question cleared out. There is no replacement for sitting down, having lunch together, and talking about something that is not work. So our office has not been completely empty. Adjusting to regulations, we have occasional meetings with the required social distancing, because at least for me, there is no replacement for human interaction yet. What do you think? How remote can your team be? Let us know in the comments. Hit that red button to keep watching our content, and we'll see you next week.